Hey guys, welcome back. It's Krystal. So today I have a review and demo for you on a new foundation and concealer by Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Transforming Foundation, and also the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Concealer Plus Corrector. So I picked these both up at Walmart probably the beginning of June. It is now June 16th. I'm going to tell you the price of these. So Alright, so I picked up actually 2 shades of the foundation just because it's really hard to find a color match in the drugstore. But I picked up this foundation at Walmart for $9.98. It is a little bit more pricey depending on where you go. Like if you go to Ulta, I saw it on the Ulta website. I think it was $11.99. So I picked up 2 shades. That's what they look like. They do have a pump, which is really nice. And I picked up the shade in number 10 Porcelain, which is the lightest shade that they carry. And then I also picked up the shade in number 20 Classic Ivory, which is the one I'm wearing today and the one that I actually did the demo on. Prior to this, I had been mixing the 2 shades together, but I just found that because I've been laying out by my pool a little bit, not laying out to get a tan, but throughout my pregnancy, this last month of my pregnancy, I've just been really uncomfortable, so being in the pool just really helps alleviate my discomfort. So with that being said, I've gotten just a slight bit darker, so I find that the darker one does work for me as long as I blend it down my neck. So I'm wearing the darker one today, but generally I would mix the 2 together. So I didn't pick up number 15, which I believe was just ivory. That one was really, really pink toned, like beyond pink. And I didn't want, you know, to have pink skin. So I need something that's like neutral to yellow or just like a light yellow. And it's really hard to find that, especially in the drugstore. So that's why I picked up these 2 shades. I would say these 2 shades are pretty neutral. So this foundation has an SPF of 15 and it is oil free. It also has an ingredient, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm probably gonna butcher it. It's called HAUTELOOK. It's spelled A-C-T-Y-L and then a space and then a C. So I'm just going to read to you the claims on the Ulta website. So it says Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Foundation gives an all-day flawless coverage and better looking skin in 3 weeks. The foundation reduces the appearance of spots, bumps, dullness, and redness and gives you a brighter, more even, smoother skin. It says benefits: all-day flawless coverage, better looking in 3 weeks, long wear that improves skin every minute you're in it, with the antioxidant power of HAUTELOOK, not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, a more durable form of vitamin C. So I've been using this foundation off and on for the past, I would say, couple weeks. Not every single day, not consistently, so I can't tell you if it really improves the appearance of your skin or makes your skin look better because of that ingredient, because I have not been using it consistently for 3 weeks. I just feel like that's kind of a high claim, but hey, you never know. So I do feel like this foundation is a medium to full coverage. It's definitely medium, but you can definitely build it up to a full coverage foundation. As you will see in the demo, I apply 1 layer of it and then I add a little bit more like in this section of my face to build it up to full coverage in this area here, which I normally like to do just to cover up my like hyperpigmentation, because I do have like lots of redness and just discoloration. So the foundation bottle and the website, it doesn't really tell you what the finish of the foundation is, but I feel like it's a matte finish foundation. It's not dewy. I don't really feel like it's a satin finish. I feel like it is a matte foundation, but I don't feel like it's quite as matte like Estee Lauder Double Wear Matte. But I do feel like it does have a matte finish, and I personally like satin to matte finish foundations. It does have a pump, which I really like. So as far as lasting power, it says all day flawless coverage that lasts all day. I do feel like on my skin it lasts pretty much all day long. I was trying to wear it all day yesterday. Well, I've worn it numerous times, but I was really trying to pay attention when I wore it yesterday. I wore it from morning till evening, like late till 11 o'clock at night. And when I looked at my face in the mirror, I had like just the slight bit of shine coming through my T-zone. But, you know, most foundations do that to me anyways. But for the most part, it really just did last all day on my skin. Now, my skin is pretty normal right now. So because it is a matte foundation, I'm not sure how people with really dry skin would like it. I would imagine because it is matte, it might cling to dry patches. It does say it's for all skin types, but I can't really attest to that just because my skin's normal right now. I don't have like any really dry patches and I'm not super oily. But it does say it's for all skin types. So, you know, if you want to try it out, try it. If you don't like it, take it back. Ulta always has a really good return policy with returns, like products that you don't like or you're not satisfied with. So if anything, buy it at Ulta. If you don't like it, take it back. So yeah, overall, I like the lasting power. I like the finish of it. I like that it comes in a pump tube. I love that it's oil free. It does have an SPF 15, which is really good for here in Arizona right now because it's summer. It's like 100 degrees plus and it's just super hot outside. So it's good to have an SPF in my foundation, especially in the summer months because I need to protect my skin from the sun. But like I said before, I can't tell you if it improves your skin over 3 weeks because I haven't used it consistently, but it's supposed to reduce the appearance of spots, bumps, and dullness and redness. So not really sure if that is true or that's the case, but overall I think it's a pretty good foundation. Not my favorite. I definitely like the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation better. Just because this is more of a demi matte finish and I like that really satin finish. This is kind of more of a satin finish foundation in my opinion, and this one's more matte. I do like matte foundations, but satins are kind of my favorite right now. I do find that the foundation does settle into the lines in my forehead. I have fine lines in my forehead now that I'm in my 30s. I have these wonderful lines in my forehead, so I feel like the foundation does kind of settle into those fine lines, but that's kind of typical of a really matte foundation. Alright, so next I want to talk about the concealer. I picked up the shade in 10 Ivory, which is the lightest shade. They have 5 shades of this concealer. I picked this up at Walmart, obviously, and the concealer was $7.82 at Walmart, and on the Ulta website it's $8.99. Ulta always has their prices jacked up, but you can always use a coupon at Ulta, like your Ulta 350 off coupon. The claims are very similar to the foundation actually. So it says Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Concealer is a 2-in-1 targeted concealer and corrector with Actyl C, an ingredient known for its antioxidant benefits. The concealer instantly provides all-day flawless correction and visibly reduces the appearance of dark circles, spots, and imperfections in 3 weeks. It says it's for all skin types, again, medium to full coverage. So I have not been using this for 3 weeks, so I can't really tell you if it improves like dark circles, spots, just improves your skin overall in those 3 weeks. So this concealer really is not my favorite concealer. I do like the packaging and I like that it comes in a doe foot applicator. It does have good coverage. Like it said, it's medium to full coverage, just depending on how much you put on. In the demo, I really didn't want to put on too much, but it does have good coverage. The thing that I don't like about it that much is that it's a little bit dry. Like it's a drier formula, and I need something that's a little bit more hydrating for my under eye area. So yeah, this one just feels more dry. It almost feels like it dries down to a matte finish, and that's just something that I don't look forward to in a concealer, because now that I'm a little bit older, it accentuates like fine lines under my eyes and it just looks kind of cakey under the eyes. So I need something more hydrating. This one's just not hydrating for me. I feel like it definitely has like a drier matte finish. It kind of reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This one is also not a favorite of mine. I feel like it's a little bit too much coverage, but it's also a drier formula in my opinion. I don't know, it's just, it's not my favorite, especially for the price. 28 bucks for that concealer is crazy. So yeah, this is not my favorite concealer from the drugstore. I much prefer, let me tell you what I love. So I much prefer these 3 concealers right here. This is the Maybelline Fit Me. It's like a lightweight coverage. I don't need a lot of coverage under my eyes. Let me just tell you guys that. So if you're somebody that does need a lot of coverage under your eyes, I think you would like that concealer. And if you don't mind a drier formula concealer because you have more hydrated or oily under eyes, then I think it would be fine. But if you're somebody who needs more of a hydrating concealer, I would pass on that. So I prefer like the Maybelline Fit Me. It has a thinner consistency. It's a little bit more hydrating. Also the L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur. I love this. It's much more moisturizing under the eyes. And then also my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. Those are like my favorites from the drugstore. I will use this, for me, I will have to use it with like a damp beauty blender just to kind of shear it out a little bit and use like an under eye moisturizer before I apply it. But yeah, for me, it's not my favorite. It is oil free. So I don't know, it just depends on your preference on concealer. If you like something that's, you know, good coverage but a little drier formula, I think it'll be just fine for you. If you need something more hydrating, I think you should skip out on it. So let's go ahead and get into the demo so you guys can see me apply. So this is Classic Ivory number 20. See, it looks dark, but sometimes I look darker, and then when you start to blend it out, it looks fine on your face. I'm actually going to use a damp beauty blender to apply this. So I'm just going to go ahead and do one side of my face for you guys. And as you can see, I have lots of like redness, hyperpigmentation. I've gotten more redness around my nose through my pregnancy. So I'm just going to pat this into my skin. I don't have primer on, I just have moisturizer on. I don't always use a primer. Sometimes I get ready in a hurry and I don't apply primer, but for the sake of foundation reviews, I don't usually wear a primer, just so you can see the wear and stuff like that, or I can see the wear. So see, once I blend it into my skin, it's okay. I mean, it's not quite the right match because it is more neutral toned, and I feel like I need something slightly more neutral yellow, or at least a little yellow, like a light yellow, but that's always hard to find, especially in the drugstore. It actually looks maybe somewhat pink, which I don't really like, but we'll make it work. So there is one layer of the foundation on my face. As you can see, it covers up the hyperpigmentation pretty well, but I like to go in with a little bit more, like especially in this area right here where I have most of my hyperpigmentation. That's where I like more coverage. So before I do another layer on this side, I want to do this side over here, but I'm going to apply it with a brush. I wasn't going to initially, but why not for the sake of the video. This is a up and up brush from Target. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe the foundation brush? I'm not sure. I like this brush though. I would say the coverage is actually about the same, I guess, but I do want to add a little bit more in this area right here, just because I feel like there's still a little bit of hyperpigmentation right there. So I always like to usually add a little bit more product there. Alright, so that is like a little bit of a second layer in this area in particular. I think it looks much better. It covered up my hyperpigmentation better. It's just more of a full coverage when you go in with the second layer, which I personally like. I like medium to full coverage, but it just depends on the foundation, how well it covers. So this foundation is a medium to full coverage foundation. So I like the way it looks. It looks pretty good. You know, evens out my skin tone. So now I want to go ahead and apply the concealer, and I have the shade in Ivory, which is the lightest shade. So I'm just going to apply this right under my eyes. and just a little bit here. I don't want to apply too much. And I'm just going to take my damp beauty blender once again to blend that out. Normally I like to do my foundation and before my eye makeup, but for the sake of the video, I just put my eye makeup on first, just to save time so that I can go in straight with my face products and then come back with my final thoughts. The only thing with having my lower lash line done already is getting really close to the lash line, so I need to use like a brush for that. I'm just going to take my Sephora Pro Airbrush Concealer Brush just to kind of get in there here. So this concealer is not a favorite concealer of mine for sure. It's a little bit dry for my liking. Like if you have very oily under eyes, then you probably would like this concealer, but I like something that's more hydrating, and I feel like it's a little bit dry for my liking, so that's why I didn't apply too much. But it does brighten up under the eyes a little bit, so it's an okay concealer. It's not my favorite. I do want to set it slightly, so I'm just going to use a translucent powder. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever HD pressed powder, and almost done with this. So I'm just going to lightly dust this all over my face. First, I'm going to apply it under my eyes. This is like one product I love to apply under my eyes to set my concealer. And this is just like an Up and Up brush from Target. I think it's the blush brush. I love it for setting my under eye concealer. And the reason I love using this powder is it just really smooths the skin. Do you see how it looks much smoother than the other side? And I find with this foundation, it can settle into the fine lines in my forehead. So that's also why I'm going to use this powder, because it'll just help smooth it over a little bit. So that pretty much sums up this review and demo. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful. And thank you guys so much for watching as always. And I love you guys, and have an amazing day. Bye.